We can only hope.
This will either work or it won't. I think we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So if anybody is watching us, which I'm not sure yet, if anybody's in, I think Rosemary's there on YouTube, then please let us know if this is working. All right, welcome to GhostCast, episode 11. And as you can see from our names, hello, Stephen. We have Alison. We have, now I've got to work out which way to point. It's in a different direction. We have Craig over here. And we have Charmaine from Tasmania's Most Haunted. We did have Cag. Hopefully we have Cag. Cag there. We are live, Cag, so just be aware.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. So Cag was having a little with her audio, but we are all good to go, except we forgot to play this. They can still hear you, Craig. Shh.
Welcome to Haunted Horizons GhostCast with Alison Oborn, Craig Cameron, and Cag Allwood from Haunted Horizons.
All right. Oh, too late. Too late. My time has come. Send shivers down my spine. Body's aching.
How we first met, Charmaine.
Everybody, I want to go. Hardly my life.
Whoops.
Didn't mean to make you cry. I'm not back again this time.
Come on, Craig, sing along.
Carry on.
Oh, you're doing a good job.
Thank you, Sharmaine.
Thank you.
And the ghost was doing something weird.
Yeah, that was really taking
So we thought we'd start with a little musical introduction. Only because we've learned how to play with buttons and things on this. We're kind of experimenting. But that's the first time we met, Charmaine, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
So Charmaine, we didn't know at the time, but we knew we were going to be good friends when we managed to get her to sing Bohemian Rhapsody in a film.
She didn't actually sing it. She sort of mimed certain words, didn't you?
I did, yeah, because I didn't know the words.
But the most, I mean, obviously Willow Court Asylum is where you did do your tours for a while, like we did our tours at our venues until the world changed upside down.
Yes.
But that was a really weird one. The reason I chose that, not only to show that we're just completely loopy when we go away places, but even then we were getting weird things happening because that phone that we were singing with just started to take photographs. So it's, yes. And it was doing the weirdest things, which I wasn't touching any buttons on. So Willow Court. All right. So if you didn't know, Charmaine is from Tasmania's Most Haunted. So when the world settles down again, definitely go and do some tours with Charmaine. She's like our sister from Tasmania, or Adelmanian, that we call ourselves.
Yep.
So, for those who have never, ever heard of Willow Court, then maybe you can give us a little bit of a introduction. And if I'm looking over here, guys, I'm sharing my screen, so I'm just pulling up some photographs as Charmaine talks, so bear with me. So now you have you have a building there, Carlton House. Did you want to start with that one?
Yeah, basically, so I've just sent through a couple of photos tonight, one being Carlton House, because that was where we did our first live investigation last week, sorry. Yeah, so Carlton House is a little bit like your Z ward. It was built for the criminally insane males.
All right.
Yeah.
What sort of activity have you had in there? I'm going to press this
Basically,
forward button, and it's probably going to show you something else, but I'm going to give it a try.
yep.
Oh, there it is. It's working.
A lot of basically voices in this building. A lot of voices and shadows. That's probably been the most.
So has anybody ever seen any full apparitions or?
No, not a full apparition in here yet. So basically just sort of dark shadows. And
Right.
we hear a lot of people and like you're in a room and it sounds like somebody's having a full-blown conversation like out in the hallway. It's like a multiple of voices just outside a room, just having, as I said, a conversation. So that has happened quite a few times there. Being an all-male ward, a lot of the females do get touched in Ward C.
Where we need to go, Kag.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yes, I'm heading there.
Let's spend some more time in there, I think.
Yeah, so so we've only been doing tours here at Ward C, for about 12 months. So it is still quite new to us. But that, I would say those three are probably the most common occurrences that we have.
Okay. And have you ever seen anything in there yourself?
Only probably about 2 shadows, as if they had just popped their head out of a door and popped back in again, like just peering out, having a look. Probably only twice on that one. So myself.
Do you ever walk around it on your own?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it make you feel? Because like with Z Ward, if you go into Z Ward some nights, and for those who don't know, Z Ward is the criminally insane ward at Parkside here. And you can go in some nights and it's really quiet. And then other nights it's just really, you feel it. You don't feel comfortable at all. So
I feel exactly the same in this ward. There's some nights I can go in there some days and it's just, it feels right. And then other times I can walk in and think, nah, because there's only one way in, one way out of this building. So when you go in and you're upstairs at the furthest room, you've got a fair distance to travel if you ever want to get out. And sometimes I do feel uncomfortable upstairs in that ward.
Okay. I'm going to play a little bit of audio because Charmaine's been really good. She's thrown us a few bits of audio. And as I said, this is our first time, guys, actually doing this broadcast the way we're doing it. So we're still getting used to all the buttons and everything else.
Craig.
What's the ghost in the background? So we're still getting used to all of this. Have you? He's got his knuckled coo from Scotland. Craig.
Oh,
I haven't got any. Oh, I should have got my rabbit in the background there. No, the one with all the blood on it. My Easter bunny. So it's coming up to Easter. All right, I'm going to play this. Hopefully everybody can hear it. Let me just go to that screen, or that one. We'll just take it back. All right. All right, that's not playing any audio, is it?
No, I can't hear it.
No, that's the one you sent.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's that one that you sent. Technical difficulty. Yeah, that one.
anyway, hello everybody that's joined us. Thank you very much indeed. And I've noticed Craig's got a lot of hellos and hey Craigs, love you,
No,
Craigs.
it's not playing for some
I
reason.
can't hear it. Yeah.
It's not playing. All right.
No.
Let's say first
Well,
time. Difficulties. What? Actually, I wonder if I can play it from when you sent it to me on Facebook. Let me just try it. If you can kind of tell me the background to what this is while I do this?
Yeah, basically, while you're doing that. So really it was just me and two of my other guides. When we always, go in before a tour, we always like to get there, a couple of hours before and do a wander, do a talk, have a little bit of a pre-investigation, of the building. And we was just upstairs in one particular room, in one of the isolation rooms. And it was just the three of us. One of my guides had her mobile phone going while we was just, doing a talk. And, in this particular bit of recording, I only have said a couple of words, and what is before my voice and what is after my voice, is something that we may have picked up. So
all right.
This was only quite new. This was only taken probably about a month ago. So I just had it on my phone and I thought I'd shoot that one to you to pop it up on here, get everyone's opinion and see what they think.
All right. So what I'm going to try and do, so we get some, is I'm just going to try and play from here. Let me know if this works. If it doesn't, then the audio isn't working on here, so
it's not.
Nah. I should be able to play the video for the other ones though, but Did it work? What was that?
No, that was me. Did you hear mine? Did you? Did you hear mine?
Yes. All right. Play it from yours. Put it up to the microphone and maybe play it.
Okay, I'll see. Yep. All right. Let's see. I'll turn it up as loud as I can.
I am sweet.
Oh,
So which bit is
Could you
it?
hear now? I am saying I'm sweaty. All right. To see if you can hear anything before, or mainly it's mostly after that.
I am sweet.
that is so creepy.
I know it must have been right there beside us to hear it that loud. Do you think that do you hear the word? Yeah.
Yeah, that was really loud.
Hey?
Yeah, it was like it was almost speaking into the microphone itself, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Loud. And it said, can we play it one more time?
Yep. Can you hear it okay?
Yes.
Yep, it's coming across great. In fact, it sounded so clear that I didn't think it was an EVP. I thought it was somebody talking, but that's really loud.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
great.
I'll go again.
I am sweet.
Wow.
It's quite loud, isn't it?
Somebody actually quite rude, isn't it?
I know, they were agreeing. Yeah.
I seem to remember your ghost being quite rude to me as well, if I remember right. I tried to find that, but I couldn't. I was going through trying to find some footage from when we investigated there. For those who didn't come on our live feed from Willow Court when we were there, I think, what did I say, Kag? I said, I'm old. How old are you? I'm getting old.
Yeah.
And then we got that EVP when we played it back going, yes, you are. So I will find that. I'll put it up on here.
It proves that ghosts don't lie.
It proves they've got no manners. They're very rude. Craig, you just had a ghost walk past your window.
They know I'm on doing a GhostCast, so you can expect a few more ghosts going past the window.
There it goes again.
Yeah, you've got a dark, shadowy figure that keeps going past your window there, Craig.
Yeah, I think
it's
they're
coming
getting
back.
a guinea pig.
It's coming
there it goes.
Again. So,
Hey, Sharmaine, when you heard that EVP, were you in the dark?
No, it was broad daylight.
Does that mean they can see you? Or they were close enough to be able to feel that you were sweaty?
Yeah. We was three of us were in an enclosed room. The guide was standing next to me on my left. She was the one holding the phone.
Yep.
So, and then another guide was in the opposite me, probably 2 meters away, 3 meters away.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you didn't hear anything audibly? Nothing
No.
while you were there? It was only afterwards?
Yeah.
Makes
We did
me
a
intrigued to go
recording.
back.
We did a recording for about 3.5 minutes, just to see if we could capture anything, and and that's what we heard.
That's cool.
Yeah, it makes you really want to go back too, right?
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Craig hasn't been. By the way, Charmaine, have you met Craig?
No.
Well, officially face to face, this is the first time.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, we were unfortunately set to come down to, hang on, you've got to get right, haven't you? There it is. To
Across that way,
Charmaine.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the opposite direction. It's hard to point because it's in the opposite direction. We were set to go down to Willow Court with Craig, me, Cag, and we were going to investigate Willow Court again.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Until the world went to, can I say the word shit?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, well, it did really, didn't it?
It did. It did.
Who would have thought of that when we were drinking at Christmas? So yeah, Craig's yet to experience Willow Court, and, but one of my favourite places at Willow Court is actually the ladies' cottage.
Yes. Yes,
I must
yes, yes,
admit.
yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about the history and what the ladies' cottage was about for those who wouldn't know, obviously?
Yeah, basically the ladies' cottage was built for the superior class female patients of the asylum, so for private paying patients. So a lot of the family actually financed the build of this cottage. It was basically to take the females out of the low society, you know, in the asylum. So this particular building was initially built with just one level. Then around 20 years later, it was actually a top level was built to create more beds. So a room for additional 24 beds upstairs. So there's the beautiful grand, you know, staircase.
I love that staircase.
Yeah, in the middle of that, you know, cottage. So a lot of people don't put a cottage like this with a grand staircase, fireplaces, timber doors, you know, in a mental lunatic asylum.
No,
So,
it is so beautiful, but it's got such character.
yeah.
Not quite what you get, but yeah, it's got such character. So
yeah, it does. Yep.
Karen says we look a little bit like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
She wants to sing the song. You got to be careful.
People also want. Sorry.
You got to be careful what you sing because you get Facebook muting your videos. By the way.
Yeah, I did last night, didn't I, Mel?
That live feed we did last night from the Adelaide.
Yeah, I did the Brady Bunch.
We got muted because I sang Vera Lynn and it got recognised by Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a warning. You've got to be really careful what you're playing in the background because the algorithm picked up the YouTube song that I was playing.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, as long as you sing it, I think you're all right. But otherwise, now I'm just going to the final picture of the ladies' cottage.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was the one upstairs.
Yep, which is this one. Now, this one's the most famous.
Yeah.
Whenever anybody thinks about Willow Court, that's the photograph that they always see. That's kind of what they think about.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So that's pretty much how it looks today. So that's all original. Yeah, unfortunately the ceiling there's, you know, it's fallen down. Because a lot of the buildings here at Willow Court were actually vandalised when it closed down in the year 2000. So some were lucky enough to be rescued. This is owned by private people, you know. where Carlton, Ward C, where I showed you earlier, is council-owned building, where this one is, privately owned. So, they've done a little bit since owning the buildings, but, probably, $1 million to get it, to where it is.
Well, I guess doing tours brings in, more that
Yeah.
use more revenue for all these things. So
Yeah, well, the buildings are not used for anything else apart from tours. They get the odd, uni students and things like that.
I'm sorry.
have you got
sorry.
comments up, Charmaine? You can actually hit the comment box and watch the comments coming up.
Oh, yes.
Karen, please.
Karen Griffiths is actually
It was
singing
Karen.
the Crazy Bunch song and giving us the lyrics.
That's cool.
I love how she's changed it. That's brilliant. So funny. Well, we have got somebody volunteering to come and sort the building out for you, which is Shane Potter.
Oh, good. Yeah, please, Shane.
So he said he'll come and sort it out for you, so that's good.
Yeah, beautiful.
Definitely a handyman on that. So,
yeah. I mean, that the cottage has been that's the longest building I've been doing the tours in. So, we've been doing tours there for about 5 years in the ladies' cottage. So that's got a fair bit of history in regards to what has happened here, apparitions, voices, you name it. Everything's pretty much happened here at the ladies' cottage. So
yeah. But I think every time that Kag and me have been there, it seems to be the ladies' cottage that we've had for us personally the most stuff happen. So which do you find? You're in these places more. Which do you find the most active?
Yeah, I'd have to say the ladies' cottage.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So definitely.
Yeah, it's my favourite. I love that one.
Yeah.
And Craig's got that to come.
He does.
Well, soon enough, but when Tasmania open their borders, so we can actually get across there.
Yeah, I know.
You can.
People wanted to know why Craig hasn't got sunglasses on. They're not used to seeing him on the GhostCast without any sunglasses.
Oh, here he goes.
There we are.
Now I can't see a damn thing.
Craig always used to wear his sunglasses because I used to have big studio lights shining in his eyes, so it kind of became a thing that he'd wear his sunglasses.
Yeah, everyone come down. Sorry, I was just replying to a comment.
So, mate, I have a question for you. If I can ask you something about Willow Court, do you find there's a difference in activity between the ladies' areas and the men's areas?
Yep, I do.
What do you reckon that might be?
Oh, I think females are more open because as well as, as 90% of the guests on tours are females as well. I just find them more open, more interactive with what's going on around them. So they're going to get more interaction. Where the guys normally come on tour, they're sort of either being dragged there, by their partners or, I mean, you do have the ones that are quite open and that as well. But I just think, that's just, how I sort of feel why the ladies' cottage opens up more than the male cottage. So,
So are you saying it's from the perspective of the living or the dead? So the people coming on the tours, the females on the tours, are a little bit more intuitive? Or are you saying that on the other side, the women still are, and that's one of the reasons why you get more activity in the ladies' cottage?
Yeah. So I just think, the male spirits that are still there, the hesitant, the still, to sort of come out and be as open as what a female is, a little bit like what the living is today.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? Because do you find a difference? You know how sometimes at Z Ward, sometimes you get those, EVPs, and some people hear the voices of the different spirits coming through, and usually they're males. You hear screams from females, and that's probably the most common thing we get at Z Ward. But you go to Adelaide where we had males and females in there, and usually when people pick up on something, it's more often than not male. And that's despite the
okay.
fact we get females coming on the tours. So it's
Yeah.
interesting, I reckon, like who interacts with who and why on the other side females come through more often in certain spots. So I'm curious because, you know, it seems to be like Willow Court very similar to what Zedward is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
And it's great to be able to compare notes because we're both operating in the same type of venue.
Yeah.
And it's great to be able to sit down and share what we've experienced and see if there's any correlation in what we're doing. You know, people think we're just doing tours, which we are, but the research never stops as well. And it just gives you the opportunity to see what it's reacting to, who it's reacting to. And
that's right.
I think just for everyone's perspective as well is when you look at it from where we sit on it, is we go into places like Zedward, and for Charmaine it's like Willow Court, and we go in there several times a week sometimes, and this is over a long period of time. So from the research point of view, it's not like we go in there one night. We're there a lot, so we get to see whether it's something that might be a one-off, whether it might be something that might be environmental, or maybe there's a theme to some of the activity we get. So that's why it's always curious when you talk to someone who's in a similar type of place to see if they get the same activity. Because it might explain who's coming through or what's coming through or to help us get something coming through. So for me, it's really interesting speaking to someone who's in a similar place in a different state or different location.
Yeah.
It's
that's
so cool. We're very lucky. And not everyone gets to spend a lot of time in these places because a lot of ghost tours, I mean, I guess not to say anything out of school, but a place like Melbourne Jail has a lot of different guides. So they don't go in all the time. And they're not there as often. So they see what happens maybe on a Thursday night or a Friday night as opposed to every night, every moon cycle, every special occasion, every eclipse. Whereas we get to see it on all those occasions to see if there's a change in activity. And it's a real blessing for us to be able to make those comparisons.
Yeah, and it's good to have a relationship, you know, as well, isn't it? So, and that's why I think, you know, because, I'm on tour every night, you know, every tour I'm there. So I only have a couple of tour guides myself. So it's, you know, the spirits there are seeing the same people over and over and over. And I just think you build that rapport with them and,
you get familiar with them. Hey, just a question on your EVP, just going back to that. Do you know who it was? Do you have an idea who that male voice might have been?
No.
Any characters there that you might be able to pin it on?
No, we haven't had a lot of characters come through. One has sort of been coming through a little bit regularly. However, there's still quite new to us coming out. So I have no idea who that was. We did try a little bit. We did try again after that, but we got nothing. So,
what was your reaction when you heard it for the first time? Did you capture yourselves on video?
Yeah, we all just looked at each other and thought, "Wow, that's like right there." You know, like that must have been right near the phone. You know, to actually hear it that loud. You know, so that was pretty cool. I've never heard that one so loud before. You know, it's mainly only like whispers and, you know, isn't it? Not a full blown,
it does sound like it was shouting at you just about.
Yeah.
And I believe one of your guides, Anna Schmidt, is on, and she said the spirits respond well to healthcare workers and mental health workers.
So, they do actually. So I don't know whether you get the same response. Have you noticed that at all? Or
we get a lot of nurses that get things happening and things like that. It's not something we've actually been. Well, I haven't been following that. What about you, Craig and Cag? Cag, you're very quietly sitting there, like just
I think he's asleep,
looking down and nose at everybody there.
No. Go on, Craig. You go first.
Have you noticed anything? It'd be interesting to see between all of us when we do the asylum tours whether we're finding the same thing. So
I just to address that before Cag does. Thank you, Cag. But what I find interesting is at the Adelaide Jail that we do quite often get reactions around prison officers or people that have been incarcerated previously.
I found that,
Yeah, and I reckon Z Ward's the same, but instead of, I guess they can't pick up that someone coming on one of the tours has been locked away previously in an asylum. They will gravitate towards people with certain characteristics which they're familiar with, and if it's someone who's had a previous issue, then maybe that's one of the reasons why some people have an interaction. But maybe it might also be because they are able to care for people or work in that sector. They've got that demeanour about them. And so maybe that's the lead-in to why people have those interactions. What do you reckon, Kag?
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just thinking.
Is that it?
I'm just trying to think. Well, yeah.
You
wait a minute.
your head, Craig. Is that all she's going to say? Yeah.
No, it's because when Craig starts talking, I fade out a bit. So,
did we take you by surprise by asking you something?
You did. I was away with the fairies.
Yeah.
No, it is interesting when you have healthcare workers. And I found it's either or. You either get a lot of things happen or absolutely nothing. Doesn't seem to be anything in the middle. And also with prison officers as well. It's either I find you get a lot happening or absolutely nothing. I find there doesn't seem to be much in the middle at all.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt? All right. Some people came in late on the conversation and are asking if you could possibly play that EVP again.
Yeah, of course I can. Yep.
All right. I know Karen missed it, so everybody's wondering which EVP we're talking about.
Yeah, all right. Yep, not a problem. So.
While Charmaine's finding it, yes, Kerry, we did have a lot of responses to nurses when we were doing the former Royal Adelaide Hospital. So it seems if they have the same profession as the venue that we're working in, it does trigger stuff. So
yeah.
All right.
All right, ready?
Find it. All right.
Okay, I'm going to play it now.
I am sweet.
Okay, so guys, I just want you to listen out for after I have said I am sweaty. All right? And Anna, I know you're on here. You can verify this for me.
I am sweet. Yeah.
It sounds very pervy though, doesn't it?
There's a sigh before you say it as well.
Yeah, there's a couple like little like sighs or hucks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of those you expect to be on the telephone.
Yeah.
Having a dirty phone call. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So there you go, guys. That's that one. I'm going to pay. I'm going to play a video. Hopefully you can hear it. The volume's very low again. I just had to listen to it, but I'm going to swap it over. I'll play it first, then Charmaine can explain. Now, which building? This was in the ladies' cottage?
This is in the ladies' cottage.
All right. So hopefully the sound will play. Oh, my computer is just warming up by the looks.
Beautiful doll. It's a beautiful doll.
Can you hear at your end or not?
Very faint.
Everybody turn their volume up just for a minute.
Beautiful doll.
Oh.
Beautiful doll.
All right.
Yep. So after you hear I think it might have been me saying beautiful doll, can you hear anything after beautiful doll?
It's not playing.
Do you want me to try and play it again?
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I couldn't get anything out of that either.
It's funny because I could hear it to start off with.
Yeah, same. And I can't now. I can't hear Alison yet now. I can't hear you, Alison.
I can hear Charmaine.
I can hear Sharmaine and Craig. I can't hear Alison.
Alison's laughing.
She's just gone mute, I think.
Yes, she's muted herself.
Yeah, only we could do that.
At least she's not kicked herself off that shit with you yesterday.
Oh, no.
I wonder if my headset turned itself
Oh,
off.
there we go.
My headset turned itself off. It's creepy. It's creepy. I didn't touch anything, but it turned itself off. So you couldn't hear anything on that? Did anybody at home hear anything? No.
No.
How weird. All right, well, what I might do is I'll make videos next time, proper videos, rather than just clips, and see if I can get it working.
Do you want me to play it?
Have you got it there that you can play it? We don't need to see the video.
No. So, all right, guys. So, I'll play it for you.
So we only need the audio.
Yeah. It's only a very quick one, this one.
Yep. Oh, that's better.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah, that's not
And
pleasant.
again, and again.
And again.
Beautiful doll.
Sounds so dirty and creepy.
Oh, he just need the telephone, doesn't he?
That's in the women's cottage, though.
It is, yeah, and that was before I was even the owner of the business. So I think I was a guest that night when I caught that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was a bit creepy. Yeah.
And you've got a second one?
I do.
Same time, was it?
It was, yeah. So now in this one, I'm in the same room where the doll is. Now, a guest was leaving and she was saying goodbye to two of the spirits. So she says, goodbye, Mandy, goodbye, Alice. See if you can hear anything after she says that.
Bye, Mandy. Bye, Alice.
It's a bit faint, that one, so I don't know whether you can hear it. I'll try it again.
Sounds like a child at the end.
Hmm.
Bye, Mandy. Bye, Alice.
Bye.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Like bye being said back.
Bye.
One more.
Yep.
Bye, Mandy. Bye, Alice.
So it's under. I can hear it. It's actually under that. There's a kind of a noise, like a whirring noise, but it's under that. It's Carl's voice under that. Play it one more time, just so people know where they're listening to.
Yep.
So
Okay.
listen to the loud noise. Listen to the under noise of the.
Yep.
Bye, Mandy. Bye, Alice.
There. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Were there ever children in there?
We don't know that for certain, but that particular voice I've actually heard with my own ears as well, that one. So I do believe that it's a little boy spirit that often...
Oh, little boy.
Yeah.
You see,
Yep,
I
little boy.
for some reason would have thought it was a little girl. But
Yeah. No, it's a little boy.
okay.
And
Well, little boys do have high voices, though, don't they?
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. And I've actually heard that voice quite a lot. Like when we leave some nights, we often, we always say goodbye. Leaving the ladies' cottage, we'll say goodbye, everyone, blah, blah, blah. And we've often hear that same little boy say goodbye to us on numerous occasions.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So...
Because we had that voice, just to go back to our own personal experiences at your venue there, which I think every time we've been, we've had something happen. And it's been audible stuff.
Yeah.
When it's
And it doesn't have to be nighttime there, does it?
But
No.
every time we've had the good stuff, it was daylight because we were just
Yeah.
going in for a couple of hours because you couldn't go in at night at that point. But yeah, there was that one where it was very rude to me, Kag, which you found extremely amusing.
Hilarious.
What was there again, Alison? I've forgotten.
Sorry?
I forgot what
I'm
it
sorry,
said.
Craig.
Can you just remind me?
Can't hear you. Do you know I have a button here, Charmaine? You found out the other day.
Yeah, I found this out yesterday, Craig.
I can actually boot Craig at any time I want to. Or
That is-
mute him. I can mute him as well, so we can't.
There, she's muted herself.
You've muted yourself,
Yeah,
love.
you pressed the wrong button again. That's
Must turn off after a certain amount.
Oh, you must have a loose connection.
It must turn off after a certain amount of time. I don't know why. Yeah, the one. Well, I've still got audio. Apart from the one being rude, Craig, just like you are normally to me, it was agreeing with my age. It was like, as I was saying, for those who weren't on earlier, we were up there, we're doing a daylight investigation. I was doing an EVP session, wasn't I? So this was EVP, it wasn't Ghostbox. And I like to be conversational with my EVPs, like, oh, you know, my age is, how old is you type thing. So I said, well, you know, I'm getting old. I admit I'm 50, whatever it is. And I said, you know, I'm pretty much getting old. We played it back, listening to the EVP first, and we had a male voice on it going, yes, you are. Excellent. I am being insulted not only by the living people, I'm being insulted by the dead as well. But the one that really interested me up there, talking about a child or a female, was when we had Ben Hansen. So that's another thing. We did a Ben Hansen from Ghost Morgan City. We had hosted him. We brought him down to Tasmania, and you hosted him there. We did an event, but we came down earlier, and we did an investigation at the ladies' cottage. And that's when I got the rude stuff. But when Ben was there, you and I thought we heard something. I couldn't find the audio. I've been trying to find it all day. I'm trying to find where I put it, but we did catch it on the voice recorder. You and I heard something. I forgot why. We were looking in rooms.
Yes. Yeah, you were standing on top of the just around the top of the stairs, and I was walking past you.
Yeah, and then you went off to look at a room at the end. Yeah, and I was kind of across the hallway just from you.
Yep.
And I thought you said something.
Yep.
And you thought I said something, because between the two of us, we heard a disembodied female voice.
Yep.
I can't. What can you remember? What it said?
Yeah. It said, "Hi, Mum."
That was it. Hi, Mum.
Yeah.
And we both looked at each. We both spun around at the same time and looked at each other.
Yeah.
And I thought, did you say that? No.
Did you say that?
No. And we did catch it on audio, because fortunately I have my audio recorder going, but I just can't find the file. So while we're all locked down in COVID-19 chaos, my note to myself is go through my 10 hard drives and sort stuff out. So, but that was fun. That was really interesting. That was really good. Love that building. So anybody else want to talk about that building before we move on to the next audio?
No, I just love it. It's great fun in there, and it's a great one for taking pictures in, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So
very photogenic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you gave me the choice of any building on Willow Court, that is the one.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Can't wait to take you there, Craig.
Can't wait to go there, Kay.
We should have been there 3 weeks' time. We should have been there.
I know.
We're not bitter, though.
No,
not bitter at all.
Bloody pandemic.
Damn virus.
All right, the next building. Let's go to it. This one.
Oh.
Can I just say, guys, we will get to your questions in a bit.
That
we're
that
gonna
brings back
go-
memories of Torrens Island.
Don't give up on
Yeah.
us, guys, because we're going to scroll back through these questions. Obviously, we just want to do the talking first a little bit.
Yeah, this one, this is the morgue. Okay. Obviously, there is the autopsy table that you can see. So that's just one of the rooms in the morgue. This is just a little bit of a photo I sent through. I sent through a little EVP as well from the morgue. I don't know about you guys, but morgue it can be active and then it can have nothing. It's been, I don't know, it's up and down the morgue in regards to activity wise. Sometimes you can just get a heap in one night, and then, in the first group, in the second group, there'll be nothing, totally nothing. Probably one of the main experiences here, we've had actually a couple of people earlier in the piece that went into the body chiller, and 2 different guests actually had the pressure of being held down in the body chiller on the on the top. There's two trays for the body chiller, and it's always been on the top one. Now we haven't had that happen for a long time now, but that was 2 separate guests. They sort of couldn't move. They were pinned down pretty much to the tray. When we opened the door and pulled them out, they were still pinned, and it sort of took maybe around 30 seconds before we could actually physically get them up off the chiller, so off the tray. So that was pretty creepy.
By the way, guys, that's not a dentist chair, just to let you know.
No. Can anybody tell me what they think that chair may be? Now, that chair wasn't actually part of that particular room. It is part of the Willow Court Asylum, though. It was actually brought in from the Royal Doan Hospital side of it. But the owner has just left it in this particular room because there's not enough room in the other rooms. So in the morgue, like this morgue was built in the 1960s. So there was other mortuaries and morgues at Willow Court before this one was actually built. So this one also serviced the actual Doan Valley community as well. So that morgue was only in operation, as I said, from 1960 to the year 2000, and it had around 3,600 deaths.
Now, people are saying it's either a birthing chair or restriction chair for biters.
Yep, it's an actual abortion chair.
Yeah, Trina's just got it right. She said
Trina. Yep.
Same time, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It was an abortion chair, so. Yeah, so as I said, 3,600 bodies went through this morgue in such a short period of time, only 40 years. But as I said, it wasn't just for the mental asylum, it was also for the community as well. So.
Oh, Nadia's just saying she was actually there when a witness was pinned down and yelled out. So cool.
Yeah, I've still got a bit of footage of that. So, because I think we were guests as well on that particular time. I wasn't the owner at that stage. So, yeah. Alison's talking again.
Yeah, that's when she really makes sense. Now she's back.
There must be a fault with the Logitech headset. It's done it before and it must be starting to do it again. Or the ghost in my house that I suddenly have after doing a drinking experiment with. If you didn't see the other night, I was hanging back with the patients of Sedgwood and doing a drinking game with them on my own on a vigil, and then strange things started to happen in my house. Which the next day, which actually is a good question I'll bring to you in a minute. But going back to morgues, do you think you get activity in the morgue because of the area it's in, which is obviously on the precinct of the asylum?
Yep.
Or because it's a morgue? Because obviously they're already dead. They're just bodies. They're just...
Yeah.
So do you find that it's mainly because it's just on that precinct, and because you're in there, it's kind of coming in to talk to you?
Yeah. I sort of feel like a lot of it's, they're just passing through. It's not, because as you say, they're already dead before they get there. I just sort of find there's not any lost souls just, lingering there in the morgue.
Yeah.
I don't know what experience you guys have had in other morgues, in other areas.
When we were doing the former Royal Adelaide Hospital, we got quite a bit in the morgue down there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was because it was the morgue. I just think it was because we were there asking for communication. We had all the equipment there. So whatever was in the hospital knew where we were. So, although Craig heard it, Craig had it as well, that sound of sighing that we were getting on the EVPs. And somebody said it sounded like, when bodies released air.
Oh, yeah, there.
Yeah, they said it sounded, some of them said when they heard it back, that's what it sounded like. So we just thought it was somebody sighing heavily, but they said, no, that's actually the sound that a body makes when it's releasing air and stuff. So,
that was really weird, because it took us a while until one of the nurses, which came on the tour, said that she worked in the morgue. And that was a time when we described the sound of it. And it sounded like a really strong exhale, and someone going very low type of sound. And she said that's one of the natural noises of the morgues. When you get one of the bodies, one of the corpses, and the corpse gets put down, when they get put down in a sitting position, they sometimes allow them to fall backwards onto the gurney or onto the bed. And when they fell backwards, that opened up the airway, and at that point the air was then forced out of the of the mouth, and that was a noise. And she said that was something that was really common in the morgue, and that was the first time we actually put two and two together. Maybe the sound you're hearing is that, I guess, a residual sound that you get in the morgue when it was in operation.
Yep.
So, it's funny, because just to address what Alison was talking about, the spirits being around the morgue and why they would be there, that was always a question I asked. So I thought we'd get nothing in the morgue. Then all of a sudden we started getting some very, very uncomfortable stuff in there. And the one thing I always think of is that if you just passed over and you passed over in the hospital, you're probably not going to be roaming the hospital by yourself. Aren't you going to follow your body until you work out what the hell all this afterlife stuff's about? It might be your familiar anchor to follow your body down to the morgue and then work on what happens after that. So to me, look, these days, after working in the morgue a bit, you don't sort of think of the morgue as a place where the bodies are, they're already dead, the spirits are gone. Maybe it's a place that the spirits are anchored to, because that's their point of being familiar.
Yeah, so, it's their last point of their life. So
well, we don't know if the spirits get taken to the next spot. We don't know if someone's there to harvest them and move them across somewhere else. Maybe it's that they got a period of time on the other side to work out what's going on. Maybe they resist going wherever they're meant to be. And they stick with their body, thinking that at some point they're going to jump back into it. It's
at our morgue, we did have a haunting in there, which is, I was told by one of the previous workers.
Okay.
They used to walk in from the hospital end and walk down past or where the offices were to go into the morgue, which they knew it was a hospital worker because it didn't come in from the other entrance where you would have all the funeral parlours to come in to collect the bodies. So they knew it was a hospital worker. And he used to walk down that corridor at 5 o'clock on a Friday wearing a suit.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
So,
cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm sort of intrigued on, how other, what other people have actually experienced in other morgues. So I haven't had the opportunity to investigate any other morgues. So apart from the Geelong jail a few years ago. So interesting.
Hey, Cag, our days at Torrens Island Quarantine Station, do you remember any activity in the morgue there?
No.
Alison, do you remember any activity in the morgue?
You've gone again.
Am I
Do
back
get
again?
videos out of it.
Yeah, back now.
For some reason, it's going to sleep. I don't know why. Like the wire on it. Amy's on. Amy.
Hello.
Amy's Crypt. If you haven't watched Amy's Crypt, definitely look her
Hello,
up.
Amy.
You're all going to have plenty of time to watch all her episodes. So Amy was supposed to be at Willow Court as well in a couple of weeks' time with us, but unfortunately postponed.
Yes. Just postponed.
Amy says, well, that's a creepy thought for the morgue. So that maybe it's the bodies. Yeah, side.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's a
You've
good.
got an EVP from the morgue. I'm not going to even try and play it on here because people are.
Yeah, all right. So I'll play it again as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Not sure if you'll really hear this because it is quite faint. This one. So, so I've just done a little snippet. It's basically we're asking if you could give us a sign if you want us to leave. Listen to what is after that words. Okay. Right. There we go. Turned up loud. Right.
Or if you'd like to give us a sign, if you'd like us to leave.
You may not hear it.
I can hear it.
You did?
Yeah. There's a couple of taps and then I hear a word.
Yep.
All right. So listen to the just after the taps, guys.
Yep. So just after the couple of taps.
Yep.
Or if you'd like to give us a sign, if you'd like us to leave.
Yeah. So
Fairly faint, but
what do you think it's hearing?
I believe it says the word Sarah.
Right.
We've been able to sort of there is this particular spirit that hangs around the morgue.
Yeah.
And from just some of our own, investigation, what we've done and what we've been able to establish, that she died at Willow Court. She actually died having an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And she is known to us as Sarah.
Okay.
So that particular recording sounds like a male voice just going Sarah, just in a real sort of, it's like Sarah, but in a lot, softer voice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hello,
So-
Stacey from Christmas Island is watching. So,
Wow, cool.
people from all over. All right. Well, we're getting up to that hour mark. We could talk all night about asylums and kind of comparing notes. You're doing the same as us because obviously just finishing on this, COVID-19 has had a bit of a toll on all of us here in Australia. Fortunately, not as bad as the rest of the world yet. Hopefully, it doesn't get that way. So we're pretty grateful for that. A lot of people are getting confused that we should be in lockdown and self-isolation. Australia isn't in. It's like we're only in this is why we're doing it all from Brady Brunch type.
Yes.
Like you do that and then you do that. Because we're self-distancing, which is what we're in Australia. So what we're doing, I think both of us, you're doing the same thing, aren't you? You're doing live investigations from Willow Court?
Yeah, yep, basically, yeah. Because as I said, the buildings are not being used for anything else. I'm the only one that sort of, has got the access at the moment. So now here in Tassie, our regulations is we're allowed 2 people to be together, obviously with the social, distancing though.
Yep.
So last night I did one at the ladies' cottage. So it was just myself and my other guide, Anna. So she pretty much just stayed in a room all night. She came out for a little while and we just sort of kept our distance. And, we're allowed to if it's for work purposes. So this is for work, you know. So doing this is for my work. Yeah. You've lost your voice again. So we're not, you know, we're abiding by all the health rules, you know, and we're not breaking any laws or anything. So this is purely for my work, which we're allowed to do.
Yeah, same with that. I mean, we've been accused of like, oh, you should be staying at home, not spreading it, but there's nothing to spread. It's more dangerous than going down the shops, filling up with petrol. And you jump in a
we
car,
actually,
you drive down and you say,
we're still allowed to have groups of 10 as well.
South Australia, yeah, the rest of Australia isn't, but South Australia, 10. Actually, Rosemary's just corrected us. It is now on to 2 people.
Oh, is it just now?
Especially
women.
Yeah, because they should not travel alone. So I think for a safety reason, we're allowed a couple of people. As long as we're socially distancing, then we're allowed a couple of people. So, you know, we're not breaking any rules. We're regulations. We're not interacting with the public because these buildings are not being used for the public at all.
No.
And we're not shopping anywhere. And hopefully it not entertains, but people love this stuff. And if we can't, we love doing it. I don't know about you, but we miss it. We miss that interaction and kind of bringing our passion to people. Yeah. So I guess, you know, we want to be doing the live feeds as long as we can.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
everyone loves it. That joins us on the nights. You know, they love it. So,
did you have anything happen the other night? Sorry, I was busy doing my own live feed because we accidentally. We both
I heard you had a pretty active night.
How did you get a full glass?
Me?
Yeah.
I texted my husband. I said I need a refill, and he came and did it for me.
You thought she had a magic glass, yeah.
He's getting his phone out.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
COVID-19. Thank you for making us alcoholics. That's all we can do.
At least the bottle shops are open.
Our wineries have shut, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah.
But which is where these come from. But so when's your next one? Have you got another one planned? And that way we can avoid each other. We've got one next Thursday, Charmaine.
Well, I was hoping to do one next Wednesday.
I will avoid doing a live investigation next Wednesday then. Because then all our followers, it's great because my followers follow you and vice versa. So between us, we can keep them entertained. So if you're to everybody who's watching tonight, please go and support Charmaine and Tasmania's most important. I was about to say.
Yeah, of course. I like that.
I'll just change the name. Don't worry, I'll charge you for that. That marketing idea there. Tasmania's most haunted. How can they get in touch with you once tours come back? Or where can they watch your live feeds where you're streaming from?
Yeah, basically, I'm only just screening from my Facebook page, so Tasmania's Most Haunted. Mm-hmm. So my website's not currently quite complete, so that'll be up and running soon too, along with my YouTube channel. So during this time, you know, I'm actually going to be trying to create my own channel. So at the moment, I've only got my Facebook page at the moment, so all our live feeds are basically on there.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. So definitely go and support her. I may just go back just before we sign off. Let's just flick through and see if there's any.
Yeah, we had some bats flying around the ladies' cottage last night.
Oh, really?
I like that.
Yeah. I didn't even know we even had bats in Tasmania.
Didn't you? We probably brought them over when we came over. We got.
I was going to say, yeah, because we've never had bats in the ladies' cottage ever before.
Okay, so there's a comment on that first voice which says it sounds like every woman's worst Tinder date.
Yes.
Who was that?
Yeah. And Anna was in the room with me that actual day too, wasn't you, Anna? When we heard that. I don't know whether you've actually heard that first EVP.
Nadia, am I still? Everybody still hear me? Nadia
Yeah, it's
said.
a pity you didn't.
Oh, I jumped back on there. My audio obviously cut out. Nadia Carr, who I believe is with you. One of your guests, or
Yes. Yep.
Or works for you. She says she gets many spirits. George, who's George?
That's the that's the little boy spirit that we often hear.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Mel says she wants to lay on the autopsy table. Hey, Mel, I've got 3 autopsy tables in my shed that you can lay on. I do have, for anybody watching tonight, I have 3 former Royal Adelaide Hospital, original 3 autopsy tables. 2 of them might be up for sale if you private message me. It's not something you can put on, what's the word? Gumtree or eBay, is it?
You can always put one on the Spirit of Tasmania and bring over with you.
Sensitivity and all. If anybody wants a mortuary table, get in touch with me. Shame I can't bring one over for you, Charmaine.
Jenny wants to know, is there any family history in the area?
In the Willow Court Asylum area, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, being Tasmania, everybody knows everybody. So a lot of my guests, that do come on tour has either known somebody that has been in the asylum or has even worked at the asylum. I myself has even had a family member in the asylum in the later years. So I grew up in the area as well, so I could remember seeing it in full operation. So I'm familiar, with how it looked and what it entailed. And so I guess that's a bit of a bonus to me, actually coming from the local community. I was born and bred up that way. So, it's very familiar to me. And obviously, having one of my own sort of family members in there, seeing it at, I guess, at a different perspective as well.
Cool.
Mm.
There was a gentleman that said that he did send us a message today about our investigation or your investigation. We will be getting back to you. Just it's been a very busy day, so just apologise we've not got back to you on that one.
Yeah, apologies because we've been trying to work. Is my audio still on?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we've been trying to work all this out, so at least we can get the technical hitches down to a minimum. So that's where we've been busy today. And everybody remembers the F-bomb I might have said.
Yes. Somebody sent me that after I'd finished my tour last night, and I listened to it on the way home.
I may just, when I'm startled, come out with a rude word on our live feed, especially when you're on your own. We were doing the Adelaide Jail I was doing a lone vigil at the Adelaide Jail, and it did go off in the new building for the subscribers. So that was good time. But there you go.
That was pretty cool.
It was.
Well, I had a pretty good experience at the jail too. So
yeah, well, actually, it was very noisy, wasn't it, when you were at the jail? That's how it was last night. Yep.
Yeah.
From the minute I went in there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Vicky, hello. We're just turning off though. It's been an hour. Actually, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. Sorry, guys. So we are going to have to wind it up. People, obviously, we said we'd be on for an hour. So I would just like to thank Charmaine for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
That's all right. So look up Tasmania's Most Haunted. Go and support her page. Go and support her live feed. She's doing them for free. It's her time. She could be home drinking wine like the rest of us, but
Oh, I got pineapple lumps.
I think we all need
I love
those.
your pineapple lumps.
We all need those at the moment. I can't wait to get back to Tasmania. I'm so disappointed because I know Craig was so excited about coming back and having you back here, etc. And,
Hi, Amy.
and if Amy's still on, having Amy's crypt come over, we're all going to go over together. And it's not over; it is just postponed.
That's it.
We'll be there as soon as this is settled down. So, and Craig, you'll get to see it all.
I will. I'm looking forward to it. How cool is that going to be?
You could stir the ladies up in the ladies' cottage.
There's one or two people. Sorry.
The dead ones or the live ones?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bit of both.
So, yeah,
you've gone quiet, Alison.
Yep, lost it again.
There's one or two people mentioned Port Arthur, and Port Arthur is a fantastic place. But you do know that Willow Cottage is actually older than Port Arthur.
It is.
So just to let you know, guys.
How much older is it from Port Arthur? Just before we
Only about 2 years. So.
But it was used.
But it was used. Yeah, it was used a lot longer, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, it only closed down in the year 2000, so a little bit over 19 years ago.
Well, Amy says she's excited for when she gets to visit again. Amy, rather you just go over for a talk for a weekend, you should come over and spend the whole time for a few days, like we're going to go over and do. Go and do some.
Oh yeah, come and join us. Some great fun.
Yeah, be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, crappy company for you, Amy, but.
All right, I think we're going to have to wind up there. Hopefully, he'll come back on. As I said, go and support Amy. Amy? I'll go support Amy as well.
Go and support Amy as well. Why not?
Yeah. Whatever.
Forget Charmaine. Right, Amy's crypt. Down. You don't know which way you're pointing, do you? But yeah, we could have lots of fun, wouldn't it, with the 4 or 5 of us with Amy? And if Jared comes, even better, because then there'll be 6 of us and we can have a lot of fun.
We can have so much fun.
Definitely be the Brady Bunch.
It will
so
be
much fun.
All right, we are signing off, so we are going to say goodnight. Thank you so much for those who have joined us. If it's a bit of a schmozzle tonight, we are still learning how this all works, because we're used to being tightly next to each other in the same room, so this is all new. Jared will be there. Brilliant. Jared's great. We can stick him somewhere really freaky on his own. husband abuse, I think it's called.
And do you like this? Do you like this way that we're doing it, actually? Do you prefer this way we're doing our GhostCast?
Give us some comments, guys, whether you like it this way or the way that we were doing it. This way we can get guests on. I've got a whole lineup of guests. You can't see my board here, but we have had a few overseas people agree to come on. So
thank you, Shane.
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have Brett, my old teammate, on. He said yes. I've just got to get on to him to find a date. He'll be talking about Satanism, and all the myths on Satanism. So hopefully we get that. We are now going to go weekly, guys, not fortnightly, because we have no tours whatsoever to do. And
we have no life.
We have no life.
No jobs. No life, no jobs, no money. So it's all good.
You are all our life now. So we may, once we start getting American guests on, we may move the time to another time when we can tee up the same time kind of difference. But we'll say that when we get onto it. So we're just finding
What's going on up there, Craig?
Sorry?
What's going on up there?
Not a lot. He's wishing Nadine would come in and fill his glass up.
Yeah, well, she's not, and it's really, really bad. I haven't texted her, but I still blame her.
Craig, you got to send that text, matey.
Hey, you know what we need to do also? If anyone's got some comments as to when we go to these places, to what we can do and what you want us to do as a challenge, then absolutely give it to us and see what we can do. And if we're doing lone vigils, whether it's going to be like any of us doing the lone vigils, I think you should have the right to be able to tell us if there's an experiment you'd like us to do, or there's something you'd like us, or one of us to do there. I think we need.
I'm sorry, I coughed.
We need to
I'm
sort of
sorry.
up the ante a little bit, since we don't have the tour group to bring in or the Patreon members to bring in to throw into places where they're really uncomfortable going. I think, unfortunately, we need to bear the brunt of doing that for our guests. So.
Yeah, Rosemary said she challenged me last night. Yes, they did. Everything was going off on the stairs around the corner at the Adelaide jail. The music box was going off, the shuffling footsteps, and they all challenged me and told me to go around there. And it's like, thank you, Rosemary. I'm on my own tonight in this great, scary building. And it's like, but I had to do it, and I did do it, and everything went quiet when I went round there. So that was even more interesting. All right, this can go on forever. We need to sign off. So
Karen's just saying, the Paranormal Quest boys, can they be featured as well? Hold that thought. You've gone again. You've gone.
Yay!
You've gone. Woo!
Hold that thought, Karen. We're going to be talking to them. They've already agreed to come on for an interview, but we've got some other plans for Easter. All right. So hold that thought. We'll announce those soon. All right. We're off. Thank you so much for coming. I am going to turn these guys off. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's see if this works. Nobody talk. No, it doesn't work.
It is working.
Huh?